Okay, we're gonna try this again. So, in case you don't know, I already recorded this video once, but someone pointed out to me that there was a certain technical problem, that being the microphone wasn't on, and apparently I was muted the entire video. Now, that was my mistake. I do apologize for that, so we're gonna try this again. This is explaining Chrollo's Nen ability, Bandit Secret, from Swagkage. And the reason why we're watching this is because Chrollo Sulfur is one of my favorite characters in Hunter x Hunter. And his ability I thought was always pretty fucking cool. I always thought was pretty fucking cool. So we're gonna watch this video where he's going to explain the ability, because there is a lot to explain when it comes to Chrollo's ability, Bandit Secret. So let's just go ahead, full screen this. We'll watch this. Hopefully there are no problems this time.
Yo, how's it going, everybody? Swagkage here, and welcome to another Hunter x Hunter video. Today I'm pretty excited because we're going to be talking about my favorite character in the whole series and his ridiculous Nen ability. Now, Chrollo's pretty tough, he's a pretty good fighter, and he's great at using Nen in general, even without taking his Hatsu into account, but I want to focus mostly on his power itself in this video. Chrollo's a specialist, and his Hatsu is a power called Skill Hunter. As the name implies, it allows him to steal and collect the powers of other people, which in the context of Hunter x Hunter may sound a little bit insane at first, and that's because it is.
Sorry, before we continue, you probably already noticed the glitching. Just to let you know, the problem is not on your end, at least I hope not. But Swagkage himself did say that the problem was on his end. He doesn't know why the video is glitching, and that it may have been a problem when the video was rendering. So just thought you'd like to know that. And also, this video is going to contain some light spoilers for the manga, especially since it's past where the anime ended. So if you're anime only, just to let you know, there might be some light spoilers.
To offset how busted this power is, there are a lot of conditions that Chrollo has to fulfill in order to use it, and while they do hold it back from being as outrageously useful as it would be without them, they don't stop it from being one of the most powerful Nen abilities on the entire planet. All of Skill Hunter's mechanics and limitations revolve around a conjured book that Chrollo has dubbed Bandit Secret. Despite the fact that conjuration isn't his affinitive aura type, since it lies so close to specialization on the Nen graph, Chrollo is able to incorporate conjuration elements into his power seamlessly. It's worth pointing out that there don't appear to be any limits placed on the act of conjuring the book itself, but it is imperative that Chrollo has it on him if he intends to do anything with his power. Now, once he's conjured the book, there are different requirements that need to be met depending on whether he wants to steal a power or use a power that he's already stolen. Stealing a person's Hatsu is particularly tough, and according to the cover page of chapter 123, requires that he meets 4 conditions. The first requires him to personally see the Nen ability he wishes to steal in action. The second requires he ask the victim about their Nen power and receive an answer. The third requires the victim to place their hand on the handprint drawn on the cover of Bandit Secret, and the fourth condition requires that all 3 previous conditions be met in an hour. Now, Chrollo has shown that he's more than capable of fulfilling these prerequisites despite how overwhelming they may be, as he's clearly capable of using at least a dozen different Hatsu. Not to mention, it's possible for him to get over some of these hurdles by convincing somebody to voluntarily give him access to their power, as he did with Shalnark in preparation for his fight against Hisoka. The restrictions placed on using the stolen powers are nowhere near as oppressive. When Chrollo steals someone's power, it will be stored in the form of a page inside of the book, and the only thing that Chrollo has to do to use one of these powers is turn to the page that it's stored on. Despite the fact that this is only one limitation, it's a pretty big one, since it completely prevents Chrollo from using hand-to-hand combat in conjunction with his stolen powers, and forces him to maneuver through the battlefield rather awkwardly. He can't close the book in the middle of using a power, and he must specifically hold it in his right hand, so if he drops it or the book changes hands, he'll lose access to the power he's currently attempting to use. Another limitation placed on the use of stolen Hatsu, and this one's a little bit more obvious, is generally, after the person who originally owned the power dies, Chrollo won't be able to use it anymore. He explains that in rare cases there are exceptions, since Nen appears to become stronger after death, and if this does end up happening in the case of one of the people he stole stolen a Hatsu from, he'll be able to keep the Hatsu in question, though I don't know if it becomes any more effective or any more powerful in any way, given that it relies on the nen of the person in question becoming stronger after they pass away. Another limitation, albeit one not listed on the cover page of Chapter 123, is one that appears to be more of an inherent consequence of the power's design as opposed to a limitation that Chrollo set on his Hatsu himself. The basic idea is Chrollo can't use a stolen Hatsu in a way that would break the rules of that Hatsu from the perspective of the person who initially owned it. An example is provided in the manga. He explains to Hisoka that he can't use Order Stamp on corpses because it's an ability that can only be used on objects. That was one of the limitations placed on it by its original user. While Chrollo sees no distinction between a dead body and an inanimate object, the creator of Order Stamp clearly did. And as a result, despite the fact that a restriction on the use of corpses isn't actually listed as one of Order Stamp's limitations, the implication is because the person Chrollo stole it from subconsciously saw a difference between an inanimate object and a dead body, this in turn affected the limitation preventing Order Stamp from being used on anything living, even despite Chrollo's different philosophical outlook on the issue. Now, going back to the subject of Chrollo being unable to use a power unless he has Bandit's secret open in his right hand to the page of the power in question, he eventually created a supplementary Hatsu that allowed him to circumvent this called Double Face. Double Face is a bookmark that Chrollo can use to quote-unquote mark his place inside of Bandit's secret, and he'll be able to use the power listed on whatever page he chooses to leave it on even after he closes the book or turns the page. This provides two different advantages that he didn't have before when using Bandit's secret. The first of which is that he can fight with both of his hands when using a stolen power, and the second of which is he can use two powers at once by marking one ability with the bookmark and opening the book to the page of another power while it rests there. He mentions offhand that Double Face has given him a set of new, pretty troublesome limitations to deal with, but doesn't go into detail about what they are. So because of that, there's not much left for me to say about the power. I think I've covered just about everything I can, and considering Hunter x Hunter's release schedule, I don't think we're gonna get any more details about Chrollo's power for a while. Anyway, if you have any requests for other Hunter x Hunter videos you want to see me make in the future, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of this video, of course, but above all else, just have a great rest of the day. Till my next video, I'll talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.
I think that's, yeah. Alright, let's just, okay. So yeah, that was Chrollo's ability, or a very, very good explanation of Chrollo's ability and all of the rules and restrictions that go along with it. And like he said, if it wasn't for those rules and restrictions, then Bandit's secret really would be one of the most overpowered abilities in all of Hunter x Hunter. But thanks to Togashi and the power system that he implemented into Hunter x Hunter, it does make it not as overpowered as it could be, whereas in other series it would be pretty broken and it would make the character very, very difficult to deal with, and in some cases it would require the author to make the character forget that they can use certain abilities in certain situations just because the outcome doesn't line up with what the author wants. So yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna end this video right here, guys. Again, hoping that there aren't any more problems with this video. Hopefully you guys can actually hear me this time and the microphone isn't muted. So I'm just gonna end this video right here, guys. Of course, as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, not just about the video, but what do you think about Chrollo's character just in general? And remember to leave a like, share the video if you haven't, and remember to subscribe, especially if you're new here, because that will help out my channel with the algorithm. And remember to click on the bell icon because that will notify you whenever I post a brand new video. With all of that said out of the way, thank you so much for watching and or listening. Remember to join me for the next video. Bye for now.